It is my honor to go ahead and introduce our next performer. Shay X Gee is a Leo sun, Torres moon, born and raised in San Francisco's Visitation Valley. Clap it up for that, we got logos. Shay would love to enjoy dim sum carts with self-proclaimed leather woman Kitty Sue, who was the first known Hong Kong American lesbian to publish a book. Put your hands together once again for Shay X Gee.
Intro, and thank you everyone for being here, listening, and being in community with us. I'm gonna jump right into my first poem. I wanted to write into abundance and this sort of accumulation of things. I started writing this poem immediately after scrolling through news headlines. A preface to the poem. I'm going to say a preface to the poem because I pulled some words from Ruth Wilson Gilmore, who said, "What the world will become already exists in fragments and pieces, experiments and possibilities." This poem is called "Only Nothing Limits the World" after June Jordan. Nearby, the photographer captures a couple against the backdrop of smoke broiling from the 3,000-year-old sequoias. I think of wood, how it absorbs moisture, becomes soft. Baba built our house too. One summer, the roof of the bathroom collapsed. I breathed in the warm tobacco, sawdust, and denim, callus on callus, and sweat soaked into plaster. I used to think being in this body meant compartmentalizing my most intimate places into dressers and hardwood shelves, hidden away in miscellaneous boxes. These days, I remind myself the body is myth. Baba drops us off in America and does the Pledge of Allegiance with us. His God stretched like good. At the Foxconn factory, someone is already dead or wants to die. Morning again, already the earth is muddled in catastrophes. I promise, I promise, I promise, I'm trying not to make this beautiful. June Jordan said, "Only nothing limits the world." I think about this often. How I don't want to become apathetic to my beloveds. I mangle my languid, text to sequoias, "I love you," and I'm left unread. I hate the word supernatural because there's nothing more natural than communing with our ghosts. These days, I hoard everything. Borrow letters from the shelves of a library. Orbit the palace of pieces and possibilities. Call it companion, call it catastrophes, call it comrade, Tongji. I meet my grandmother for the first time in my sleep. She kneads grief into the buttons of my palms. Baba's calloused hands ruby them to flames. For my next poem, my next and final poem, it's about a lot of things. I was inspired by Mason's workshop where our prompt was to personify a place with feminine energy. I wanted to write something where, as a femme, as a lesbian, I didn't feel watched or surveilled, or at least that kind of gaze didn't matter. And I wanted to write towards the feeling of safety and love and the dimensions of what those two can do together. And basically, it's a femme for femme poem. It's called "On Loving Declaratively." Our whole lives we've known what was forbidden. In August, she hailed her proudest monsoons, lapped them at our unripe skulls, fermented our bodies with the brine of her living, her pleasure, her arousal. We undressed the sky and licked the marrow of her hearts, feminine and thumping with jubilance. Our bodies were no one's targets, no one's good girls. We were suspicious of no one and as lovable as our ears when they folded into each other's queer embrace. We meet at Kearney Street in Clay, a few doors down the Cantonese dinner house and across the street, a park where I was once a child of monkey bars and weekend fairs, the stoop my grandfather sat and rolled dice on. Nearby, the hotel's revolving doors spits out Torres, the streets filling the summer. For a moment, I think we could almost blend in. The smell of yeast pulling us to every doorstep, the eagerness of being seen through a window shop. We sit side by side at a table stretched long above our feet, laugh at how it swallows us. Our hair grows long, clasping us into the gathering place where our mouths meet. What was left was to eat the moon, my favorite, the fig, the damp fig, sticky from the fingers inside us. That night we bore our teeth for what they are capable of.